Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank our witnesses for joining us, the administrator and our colleagues, Representatives Edwards and Castor, whose districts and communities have been greatly impacted by this year's deadly and devastating hurricane season. As I've said many times before in this committee and beyond, climate change and its related severe weather events have changed the disaster landscape, and they have strained capacity for all levels of government to respond. What's more, the data shows that these disasters are becoming more expensive, they're lasting longer, and they're having a greater impact on our communities than ever before. While we still await exact figures, preliminary estimates show that the combined price tag for just Hurricanes Milton and Helene will eclipse $170 billion. So far this year, FEMA has provided assistance for 89 presidentially declared emergencies and major disasters, including those covering hurricanes, wildfires, landslides, and tornadoes. One of the main sources for providing support to disaster-stricken communities, as you mentioned, Mr. Chairman, is FEMA's Disaster Relief Fund, the DRF, which funds repair and restoration of public infrastructure. It supports hazard mitigation initiatives, and it provides financial assistance to disaster survivors. When the program is nearing depletion, however, it enters immediate needs funding, INF, which pauses all DRF-funded projects that are not life-saving operations. Since 2001, INF has been implemented 10 times, the most recent being just August of this year. The current continuing resolution provides $20 billion in budget authority for the DRF, so FEMA is no longer operating under INF. We know, however, these funding challenges will continue as fewer than $5 billion currently remains in that budget. That's why President Biden submitted a $100 billion supplementary request to Congress yesterday, and that includes $40 billion for FEMA. Congress must pass a supplemental to sufficiently fund the DRF so FEMA can continue to support ongoing recovery efforts, as well as address those that will undoubtedly emerge in the future. This funding is not for FEMA, it's for FEMA to provide to communities and individuals impacted. We also need to provide solutions for survivors and communities so they can recover more quickly and ensure that resources are deployed fairly. One of those solutions is my Disaster Survivor Fairness Act, which I introduced with my colleagues Congressman Garrett Graves, Troy Carter, and Congresswoman Jennifer Gonzalez-Colon. Also has the support of Congressman Chuck Edwards, who you will hear from later today. One of the most important aspects of the bill, which has already passed this committee unanimously at the beginning of the Congress, is to simplify the process for seeking assistance following a major disaster. It does this by creating a universal relief application across federal agencies so that we can ease the burden on families and small businesses, get rid of some of the red tape, speed up the process, because this is the worst days of their lives and they need to have at least some assistance in the application process. In this committee, we've held numerous hearings on the challenges faced by FEMA's workforce, and I look forward to discussing those today. As we move forward, however, we must also acknowledge the impact misinformation has on the ability to respond to these events. I was disgusted with the ridiculous rumors that were floating around, cautioning people that government was going to bulldoze over their communities, seize their homes, and divert disaster aid to other programs. And those who perpetuated these claims, spread the claims, claimed that they were legitimate. Well, shame on you. That just makes the process even worse. I was also very upset to learn that a FEMA employee directed her disaster survivor assistance team to skip homes that had Trump signs. I condemn the employee's decision about discriminating with aid. That should never be the case. And Administrator Criswell immediately did the right thing when she learned about this incident by firing the employee and referring the case to the Office of Special Counsel. To my colleagues testifying today and to Administrator Criswell, we recognize the challenges you're facing, and this committee wants to do what it can to help aid you, help those in the recovery process. So I look forward to your testimony, and hope that we can stick to the issues at hand and not use this as a springboard to get into politics. And I yield back.